So what we're going to do is focus on our website here. Now, the first thing you need with WordPress is your username and your password. And I just set up a nice little module here for our username and password. So you can log in there, okay, for our site. But in general, this is very important. The universal thing with WordPress, this is how you log in. So you've got the URL here. You go /WP admin. URL. WordPress is a blogging platform. It's an open source blogging platform. There's two WordPresses. There's WordPress.com, which is a free service, but you're basically you are digitally squatting on somebody else's property. Okay, they own the server, and you're getting a free service out of it, which is okay. But until it's not, and then you want more freedom to do stuff with your blog. Then you go to WordPress.org, which is served up by your host. If you have a hosting account with a regular, Shaw or, HostGator or Bluehost, you get an account, and they serve up WordPress to you. Okay, so you set it up on your own server. So you pay a little money, but you get a lot more freedom. You can do anything you want with that server. So that's the big difference between WordPress.com and WordPress.org. Okay? Okay, so here we are. Now this is a new thing. They still want you to have an account with WordPress.com because there are some benefits to that. So everybody should do that. So you could log in with WordPress.com, or you can log in with your username and password. This is my old username and password. Always comes up. So basically, you enter and log in. It's as simple as this. Some people have a hard time. Your username is always going to be lowercase. Your password should always be very hard. So, and see, this is how hackers get in. They type WP-admin after the URL, and they get a login screen, and then they roll through a million different passwords and usernames. The worst one is username admin, which for a long time came standard with each account. People wouldn't change it, and then they have a password of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Stupid stuff. So you got to make a new user account. Now, if you were our members, you would get. I would set you up with your own user account, send you the username and password. You can log in. You can change your password. So this is the dashboard. The first thing you'll see. As a user, however, you're not going to see all this stuff here. You will only see the stuff up here. Really at the top on this navigation bar here, that's all the content stuff. So pages, posts, pictures, links, things like that. The stuff below it is all very designer stuff and functionality, and that's not available to regular users. I signed in to my admin account, but normal users, if you were uploading for a magazine, you wouldn't see all that stuff at the bottom. You'd only see pages and posts. Okay, so there's always two ways of doing things in WordPress. You could go here, go posts, add new, or you could go up here, you got post, and you can just click on new post. Boom. Make this a little bit bigger. Now, if you knew Elementor, you could edit with Elementor, but that's a page builder. But if you were an advanced user, you could do that. So that's all you would have to do is click there, and you get a whole different palette of things to choose from. So what we're going to do is I'm going to, I always suggest to people that they write in a Word program because there's so much functionality there, you know, you might as well, you know, between grammar check and find and replace and things like that. You might as well just do that. So I've got and what I'm uploading tonight is the actual thing that we're talking about. So you can read it on the screen as I'm telling you how to do it. So basically all you do is you're going to copy, you're going to go to your page here in the main edit box and just paste it in. Boom.
Question.
Yep.
So if you didn't want to go into Word first, could you write it in there? Does it have a spell
you
check?
You could.
It has a spell
check?
No?
It's not great.
Okay.
So what are you pasting in your blog?
The piece I just wrote in this is in Word, right?
Right. Okay.
So it's better to do it there. You can do so much more than in WordPress. And then with WordPress, you have to be online, and yeah, why bother?
Plus, if you hit the wrong thing, you wipe it out, you lose it. Then
well, I'll show you how not to do that. Okay, please. So I've got it pasted up, and the title is at the top. All you have to do is delete the title, bring it up a little, put your title in, okay? Save draft right here. And so what happens as soon as you save it, you got your permalink right here. See how that came in? That's your permalink.
What's a permalink?
Permalink is everything after the URL. Okay.
What's a URL?
Okay. A URL is up in the box up here. So BCTW is our URL. So your URL would be avrammiller.com, right? So everything after the dash is a permalink. Let me sit up a little. And that permalink is very important for SEO. It adds more keyword possibilities to your stories so that the search engines will find you. And in this case, so I've got, several keywords: post, blog, and WordPress. So these are all good keywords to have, okay? It does it automatically, and that's standard. If you wanted to edit it, you can. Say, I just wanted to say post a blog in WordPress, okay?
So you create that yourself?
It automatically comes with the title when you save, and then you can edit it. But I will warn you, once you've published your story, you should never change that, ever, ever, ever. Well, maybe 2 seconds later, because what happens is if the search engine finds that permalink and indexes it, and then you change it, then you're going to have a broken link. So you never want to change your permalink after a certain amount of time after you publish. Okay.
Sorry, if you made a mistake,
yeah.
Wouldn't it be wise to take your article, put it in here again, get a new link, and then with the original article, just
Yeah.
trash it?
It depends. Again, if you trashed it and it's already been indexed by Google, your site is going to have a 404 error. Yeah, so you don't want that. You want to minimize that. Yeah, everybody does that in the beginning, but no, they'll all be like blog on WordPress, and nobody knows that. Okay. So now the next thing I'm going to show you is how to prevent yourself from publishing without being ready. Because like you're down here and you're like, oh, I'm going to hit save draft. I'm going to hit preview. Oh, I'm going to hit publish. Boom, it's gone. And then maybe the RSS feed's already taken it out. So
I mean, where does it go?
where does it go? Up on the line. People could see it. And if it's connected as ours is to an RSS feed, it shoots to MailChimp, and then MailChimp sends it to all our members. And it's not ready. Ah!
So then you're saying once you publish it, don't edit any of the stuff.
Hang on. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying do what I did here. Save it. Enough. Okay. So then you go here. Publish immediately. See where it says edit? This is where you're going to schedule it in advance. Okay? Preferably when you really plan to have it sent out. But anytime in the future, within reason, like the next day or something, you got to remember what day you set it for, so that way you won't be able to publish it. So let's say I'm going to set this. I'll set it for the 12th. I usually set it for 10 a.m. Goes out at 10 a.m. and then our RSS feed picks it up at noon. So you go okay, and then you hit schedule. Okay. So now there's no way you can pre-publish it. Okay. So it's scheduled to go. You can't hit publish. Now it says update. So you can only update it, but still it's not going to go live.
Can you change the schedule if you want to?
Of course, sure. Absolutely. You can keep pushing the day back.
Okay.
But just remember and don't forget about it. And then, it's up. It's live. Huh? You can preview it. And then, if you hit this preview button, that brings up a new window on the actual post. So here's the post, and it's nice to have two windows open anyway, because so you can go back and forth. You can play on the back end and then see it on the front end. You can do that with WordPress. You can have different windows open so that you can just be clicking around. Yeah, we're going to add pictures. Okay. So here's a little bit about posts and pages. Posts and pages are almost the same thing, except virtually on the page it looks the same. So it's easy to be confused. Pages are like old-time HTML pages, right? Where you make a page, you save it, and it won't change until you change it. Where the posts, you can just keep pushing them out, and they stack up in a reverse chronological order. And you can put a million of them, just millions of them. The only big difference is, you see here the categories and the tags. Those are what you use to corral the information, okay? So if somebody clicks on news or buzz, it brings up an archive page of all the things in that category, right? Categories are like your table of contents, high-level categories, where tags are categories as well, but they're like your bibliography. So for instance, in our tags, we have all the names of our members, right? So if somebody clicked on Irene Butler's name, they would get everything that Irene Butler is mentioned in, right? So you guys have used, clicked on tags and categories before. This is what they are, basically. People, places, and things that are specific.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Okay, so with this thing, I'm just wondering, for the permalink, if let's say you wanted to do 5 consecutive posts on the same topic of how to write a blog, like how to write a blog, how to write a blog. So how do you do that so they all kind of are together? Does it just go how to write a blog 1, how to write a blog 2? How would you do that?
Well, the titles would be.
Would they?
But
Okay, so
but you could have a category that is how to write a blog, so that when you click on that link, you get all the number 1, number 2, number 3. Yeah. I mean, they would be reversed, right? Right, exactly. They'd be 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Most recent's always at the top.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's there's a lot you can do. I mean, that's a very basic sort of explanation. But like, you know, I like to say, like, you know, say that like music is the category, and the tag might be jazz. It might be the Blue Note Cafe. It might be John Coltrane. You know, so very specific things under that category. Okay, so that's that. Where are we? So compose in Word, schedule date and time. I would like to add headings. I'm going to skip down the list a little. We're going to add headings because it'll make it easier for you guys to read this post. Because when you have headings, it kind of breaks up your text into short little what is snippets or segments, so that it's easier to skim and follow through. So this is how we do it. Headings are right here under paragraph. They pop up. Okay, so these are all your headings. Now, never use heading 1 because that is the title of your story. Okay, automatically it's heading 1. And that's like the key thing that Google looks at is that heading. And so basically the headings tell the search engine spiders what's the important bits on the page. So you can also use the headings and put keywords in them so that the keywords stand out when the search spiders come to see, you know, what's on your page. So
Search spider.
search spiders, Google goes, you know, how do you think they index? They send these little bugs out, and they crawl around in your site. And when the spider gets there, they're like, what, you know? So the headings give them road signs. So heading 1 is taken. So the next one down is heading 2. And all you do, okay, with headings, all you have to do is put the cursor on the line, like that is, and then you hit heading 2, boom. Okay? Pages. And you have to use the headings in a hierarchical order. You can't just be like putting them willy-nilly based on the format. It has to go like, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5, 2, 3, you know, it has to be like an outline where it makes sense. So for this, okay, difference between posts and pages. I'm going to make pages heading 3 as well as posts, right? And then I'm going to go back up to heading 2 for the next thing. So each of my next things are going to be heading 2 because they're higher level, right? See, the pages and posts are a subcategory of the difference between posts and pages. So that's basically the best way to kind of organize it.
Can you take
Yeah.
the different subheadings and like italicize some or something, or
Yeah.
just to make it?
You can
stand
make
out?
it Italian. Yep. You can do that, or bold. It already makes it bold,
Yeah.
but you can, I think, make it bolder. And you can link to it. Like if you make your heading a link, then it makes it even more like colorful and stand out more. So anyway, so basically, I'm just going to go down this list. Yep. Well, number 1, Google is already here, so that will be a color. So if you make the heading a link, it'll be, you know, bold and big and colorful. So, okay, so
Would you say you link your title to the website? Would it be to, like if your article is on traveling through Italy, then your highest level would be travel through Italy, and then maybe then you would have the
Florence, Rome, exactly. So they would be like heading 3 or something, the next one down. And then if you like talk about Florence, the museums, the bars, so those would be heading 4. And then when you go to the next town, you start again with 2. Are we all clear on that? So I'm just going to go. So you see how visually, even on the edit page, it does help to see what the next topic is. Okay, so that's that. I'll save that. Okay, so that was headings. Let's add links. Let's see. Okay, there's 2 different kinds of links. There's internal links and there's external links, and both of them Google likes a lot. Links are what make it a web. Like you want to be connected and sending information back and forth. Google loves that. And they will, if you don't have links, Google won't pay so much attention to you. The external links, like this one, for instance, and if you click on it, you see the URL there. That's okay for now. You can do more with it. If you click on this little pencil tool, you can see it again. And if you click on this options, you get this really nice box. My personal feeling is, with external links, you always want to link in a new tab, because otherwise when they click on that link, you've lost them. They're on a different site and they've forgotten about your site. What the new tab does, it opens a new window for the new link, so they still have your site on their computers. So that's the external link information. Now for internal link is very important, because especially when you have a lot of content on your site, you want to send people to other pages within your site. You don't want people just hanging out on one page and then, exiting. You want them to go deeper, deeper, deeper and find more information. So that's what internal links are for. Now, if you know the name or, the keyword of a page, all these are pages, I don't know, it's empty. I'll put Randy's name, Randy Winter. So if I was talking about Randy in an article, like we do, we have blurbs, I would select Randy's name, and I would go in here and enter her name in this list, and then there's her page. And then, boom, Randy Winter Passionate Travel. So it's all there. It just immediately links to what's already on your site. Any number of things. So I could, and then just hit update. Oh, I just changed this one. See? So now I just changed that to Randy Winter Passionate Travel. So it's very important to do this. I can't stress it enough, because you'll also find, as a blogger, people stealing your work. They grab your, there's ways of grabbing content and putting it on their own site. The only way you can track it back is if you have an internal link that they're using, and you're like, hey, somebody, and you can look up, there are ways to see who's linking to your site, and you're like, hey, that's my page because of the internal link that you put on it. So it's very important, both external and internal links.
So when you put a blog up, it's fair game for anybody.
It is, damn them, but there's ways to get back at them. I've written about it. If they are on a platform, it's so easy to get them taken down. Because, all of the platforms frown heavily on content theft. So they'll just shut the whole site down, basically. If it's their own site, it's harder. You have to involve international officials, really, there are ways of doing it. I've done it, and it's like not worth it.
Very, go talk to them. I didn't build this part.
Right.
But you have to be really, really careful.
So yeah, you do have to be careful using other people's pictures. The only thing that's kind of I find kind of easier if it's like a publicity still from a movie or something. I don't think they're so worried about it. But yes, you have to be very careful. That's why you should just use your own pictures,
Or
really.
royalty free.
Or royalty, if you can get royalty-free
Pixabay is
images, that's great too. So since we're at insert images,
Their free ones are very limited.
yeah, and a lot of, I gotta say, a lot of the services, these stock images, they look so stock. It's like, I don't know. I like to have something a little more organic, even if it's, huh?
Unsplash.com.
What is it?
Unsplash.com.
Oh, I don't know.
It's really nice.
Okay.
Word files.
Yeah.
There's a ton of them.
Yeah, there's a lot of different sites. Okay, since we're talking about images, that's our next thing. Thou shalt not post without images because it is boring, number one, and Google hates it and readers hate it. In fact, everybody's crazy about video now. So, yes, yeah. The weight, yeah. But the thing about video on a site, if you don't have words, videos don't have, there's not a lot of keyword basis there. So you should always, your post should always be at least 300 words, okay, even if it has a video, because that's what gives it the weight, and you can put in keywords. It's hard to keyword videos on your site.
Is there a specific, so for a given number of words, is there a specific number of photos that maximizes? Like if you got 500 words, should it be 2 photos, 3 photos?
I think it's not the same as with keywords have a kind of a ratio, but photos, I don't know. It's, 1 or 2 or 3 is fine. Mm-hmm. So so basically you need images. There's several different kinds of images. But the first thing I'm going to say is, before you load them onto WordPress, pre-size them, okay? I tell people to keep it under 1,000 pixels wide. 72 DPI is good, not DPI, pixels. Unless it's if it has type in it and fine lines, then you kind of have to get a higher pixel count because it's not going to be very clear. And I do a lot of screen grabs, and then I put them on my posts, and it's always a trick to keep it sharp so people can read it.
Do you adjust the quality?
Yeah, I do. I have to play with it a lot. Huh?
Go up higher.
Yeah, I have to keep it higher. And then I have to use preview to make the screenshot, which makes a better screenshot than just the machine. Anyway, so that, I always tell people that. And give your images keyword titles. Make them well titled so it's explicit about what's on there. And I'll tell you why in a second. Well, I'll tell you right now. So basically, you're just going to put on the page itself, you're going to put your cursor wherever you want it. Okay. And let's, okay, what am I doing? Oh, yeah, okay. So I'm going to put it there. I'm going to go up and add media. Now, again, there's always 2 ways of doing things. The old-fashioned way is to go upload files, select files, and then you go and you find your files. So I do a lot of screenshots, and I pull them onto the desktop, and I know where they are. What was the one insert image, right. So here's this image I'm going to use, WordPress insert image. So double click, and it starts bringing it in. You can see the progress. And there it is. So there's this is, you get a little thumbnail, you get the details, the size. Again, I did this all before I came over. You get the URL on the site. That's helpful sometimes. Okay, here's my title. Now, the next thing you have to do with the images is you have to optimize them in this media manager. And this is the quickest, easiest way I do it, okay? I copy the title and I paste it in alt text and in description. Alt text is for blind people and search spiders, because the search spiders get there and they don't know what the picture is. They don't know, what it is really. So the alt text tells them, okay? And I got these nice keywords here. The description, if you go to Google and you see this picture online and you click on it, that description will come up. Now, now you're talking about stealing pictures. If you want people maybe to buy your picture instead of steal it, you could put your own personal information. You could put a copyright. You can, I could say copyright. Oh, wait. Which is option G, copyright. 217, Mary. Okay. And so they'll see that on Google. And so that's a part of the image when it goes out online.
If you actually put that in, is it worth anything, or is
It's better than not. Sometimes I go and I want to use somebody's picture, but I can't find any information about them. They don't put this. I go to site after site and I can't find any. I want to buy it from them, but I can't find them.
You just put copyright down on something, somebody steals it. Do you have any
Yeah,
recourse?
there's recourse if it's yes.
So does that
No, I don't know if you do.
I'm not going to register.
Look, it couldn't hurt. So putting all this information cannot hurt a bit. It can only help you. Okay?
Also tells people that you're serious.
Yeah, it does tell people you're serious.
The burglar who wants to get
Right.
in is gonna get in, but if you're saying
You
if
discourage
your
it.
house is a
Right.
war, that will discourage everybody except who's determined to get in because there's a contract to take what's inside the house. Can you just tell us what you feel is the best thing for image, making them the right size?
Oh, sizing them? Do I have to? In Mac, I use iPhoto. And so, well, for my Blogsite blog, I often do mashups of images of my own, maybe somebody else's, and I use Photoshop.
But to make them the right size.
That's what I'm talking about. So Photoshop, iPhoto, Photo Library. I don't know what you guys use on PCs. Photoshops. And just size them on there. That's all you need. Okay, so we got this image up. Now, again, always two ways of doing things on WordPress. You've got your alignment here. You've got you can add a link to your image. You can have it like if somebody clicks on it, the image, they go to this page maybe, or the media, or make the picture pop out with media file, or you can add a custom URL if you want it to go maybe somewhere else. Yeah. So this is where you're changing it. Custom, none. You have all these choices here. You can also set the size. Now, WordPress imports pictures in 3 to 5 different sizes. There's always a thumbnail. There's a medium. There's sometimes a large. There's a full size. So you can actually, from here, make it smaller. You can't make it bigger. You can make it smaller. You can actually, and there's also ways to edit the image once it's in here. If you wanted to crop it, you could do that. Or you could scale it down, or any number of things. You can, but I wouldn't put a huge image in and then try to scale it down.
Yeah, I was just going to say, if you do that, let's say you've got a small image and you blow it up using this process, does it become pixelated?
Oh, it won't let you get bigger. It won't let you do that. Also, if you have different uses for the same picture, maybe you can only change. Maybe you're going to change all sizes except the thumbnail, or just the thumbnail, or all sizes. But it'll change all those things. So there's that. Okay, shoot. Back to the page, sorry. So here we are. I'll cancel that. So here's the image. We're just going to hit Insert into Post. And, hello? Oh, it ended up in the wrong place. Oh, no, that's the right place. Yeah. I usually have the image and then the heading and then the text. But it's up to you. Now, once it's on here, you can still do stuff. You can drag and drop the image size the way you want, you know. It's still set on centered, so it'll still go in. You can left or right or center. And then also you can click on this little pencil and get more editing tools. You could put a caption in. You can mess with the alignment, the size, the link again. And then there's also some advanced options below, like if you wanted a border, you can add one and then decide what color it should be, you know. And in this site, I have a plugin that does the margins. You have to have a separate plugin to do that. But that's helpful if you want to have lots of space around the picture.
Plugins are additions.
Yeah, plugins are little apps that add functionality to your site. So if you're building your own site, that's something you need to know, because it's just, you know, there's all these fun things you can do, but you have to add all these little plugins. Okay, so update that, and then see, there's my caption. Boom, right? Oh, hey, wait, one more thing. Okay, one more thing. Now, if you, let's say you are doing what I'm doing here, which is a lot of images. Actually, I'll show you a different way to do this. Well, no, I'll do it this way. Upload, you can go upload. Now watch. You can find all the pictures you want to upload on your desktop, your files and whatever. And you can actually just drag them in, and they'll just come in en masse. So instead, I mean, you could do one at a time, but it takes more time. If you have everything prepared and you just want to pour it in, this is what it looks like. So I've got all these images coming in all at once. Boom, 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 right? I'm trying to deselect them. Okay. So again, you got to go through and still optimize them one by one, but at least they're uploaded all together in a bunch.
And they stay in your, basically, that's your library.
Yeah, that's your media library. Now, if you want, you can make a gallery, okay? You have to hit Create Gallery, and then you can select all these images. You don't have to hold down any keys. And at the bottom there you see, those are the images that you're going to put in your gallery. So you go Create New Gallery, and you can move them around. Say you want, them in different places. You can adjust the columns. So if you want 4 in a row or 5 in a row. On this site, I have a plugin that gives us extra options for like the tiled mosaic or circles. But most standard WordPress is only going to give you a thumbnail grid. And you can choose your size, but sometimes there's a limit to that. You can change the length. So if you insert the gallery, boom, you get, and they're all going to stay put where they belong. And then you're going to re-edit them as a piece, right? So say you wanted to, move this one over here or this one there. I'll show you what the tiled mosaic looks like. Well, you can't see it here. I'll show it to you on preview. And it's kind of helpful to be able to bunch up a bunch of pictures like that. Okay, so that's the single image. Oh, well, it doesn't really work really well for this, but you get the idea. So these are all these images, and they're all packed together. It looks much prettier when it's travel images. This isn't the best example. But anyway, so that's how you do the gallery. Okay, so you got the on-page image, you got the gallery image, which is optional. Well, yeah, you can do, yeah, there's a lot you can do, but, oh, sure.
That's what
Sure.
video.
You want to do a video? Okay, it's easy. Let me find a video. Oh, sorry. Where's the David Bowie? Oh, this is my page. Oh, here's mine, my zipline adventure. Okay, so, there's two ways of doing this. You can simply take the URL and paste it onto your page. Yeah, I'll put it here. Okay, and let's see what happens. This can work. You know what? I think it may not like being in that format.
You have to hyperlink it.
Hang on a second. No, you should not have to do anything. WordPress now, usually it will pop up into a video. Come on. Don't prove me wrong. Seriously.
Isn't there another thing in YouTube? There's something else. I can't remember what it's called now. But you don't actually take the URL. You click on something else, and it actually pastes it in as HTML instead of the URL link.
Why is this not doing it? I wonder if this is because I'm logged in. Do I have a different... Wait a second. Hang on a second. That's me. Let me log out. Let me... it might be an edit link. Okay, Mr. Beam. Okay. Maybe, yeah, that's probably the wrong link. Okay. Okay, there you go. Wait. There we go. Okay. So you have to get the right link. Okay? I just have to have Mr. Beam. So this is how it comes up. Now, the problem is sometimes it might be too big or too small. And we'll see how it looks here.
So you don't have to get the embed code. You just take the hyperlink.
That's so simple.
Voila. Yeah, WordPress has come a long way. Now, if you want to do the, if you want to control it more, what you do is you go share on here and then go embed. And this code here, this iframe code, that can also be used. But what you need to do, now WordPress has two views, okay? The visual, which is the tab here, and the text. Now the visual is what you see here, but the text, this is all code. So if you're going to put in that iframe code, you should use the text view instead. And what you can do, see how it says the width is 560, height 315. If you want to make it smaller, let's shave 100 pixels off each of those. So 460 and 215. Then, see, you can change the size. See? So that's from the embed code at YouTube. This is all changed, this whole look now. And also, in this case, you can uncheck, suggested videos. You can uncheck the player controls and things like that. So you have more control, basically.
If you put the video in, would the Google consider it as another link, external link?
Yeah, that is an external link for sure. That is a valid external link, the YouTube video.
My parking's run out.
Oh, okay. Okay. So that's any questions about video?
You have to have YouTube.
No, you can use Vimeo, or
What about
anywhere,
uploading? What
really.
about uploading your own raw video? Well, not raw, but like say I shoot a video on here
Okay.
and I want to upload it.
I would say okay if it's like up to 10 seconds, but putting video on WordPress is not really a great idea
Really?
because it uses these are big files, so
Okay.
it's really better to have the files living on YouTube or Vimeo and linking to them
Okay.
than supporting all the weight. I mean, videos, and who wants it? Unless it's 10 seconds, it's just not worth it, I think.
Would it slow down?
It slows your page down, for sure. Yeah,
Now,
everything.
Are you talking about just loading it, or you someone even viewing it?
Viewing it, loading it. I mean, and then also WordPress has a limit. I think it's, hang on, it is, file limit is 64 megabytes. I mean, that's like, with
Yeah.
a video, man.
Yeah.
So it's not really worth it to put the videos. You can load PDFs. If you know how you click and the PDF pops out, that's totally doable. Just by linking to it, basically. Okay.
So a 3-minute video, you wouldn't want to load that. You'd put the link.
Put it at
Put it on YouTube.
Yeah,
Put the link.
let YouTube, and then it's better to have the linking, and then your site is living on YouTube, and it's maybe sending people to your site. So you can optimize YouTube so that your site information is all there and all the keywords and stuff, and so yeah, back and forth.
I have a question.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes YouTube videos have an ad in front of them, and sometimes they don't.
Only the most popular do.
Sometimes
But,
they have it in the
yeah,
middle.
if you get a lot of hits, they want to monetize your. So then they'll send you a pittance for each viewing, but that's how they make money, by selling ads to put on your popular videos. Okay, so I know. Okay, so we covered inserting images, optimizing images. I'll load the images themselves later.
Can you show if you want the picture on the left side, and then you're going to have text, because like when you
Oh, okay.
did that,
Oh, sure, yeah. I mean, let's say this picture's smaller, and you want it on the right. So the text is going to flow around it. Same with on the left, it'll flow that way.
in the beginning, it was only a few letters.
That's because the image was so big.
So what do you do?
Well,
Then how do you move the text on the right to the bottom so that
I mean, you could push it down this way, but I don't recommend that.
What will that look like if you push it down? Won't do funny things sometimes?
It gives you code that just junks up your
Yeah.
site. I mean, if your images and words are pushing each other around, I mean, in this case, I would just put the picture in the middle and let it take up all that space, right? If it's going to be that big. If it's going to be small, then yeah, let it flow. Let it flow around.
and where do you say whether you allow icons or
It should do that itself. In the case where you have like a really long URL, that can kind of mess up your paragraphs if they are on this side here, and you had a huge long. Let's see.
the other thing with titles
Yeah,
is
anyway.
that it only that the search engines only pick up the first 4 words.
Oh, I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
when you're.
Well, the first words, they do like keywords like the first words. But then who really talks like that? I mean, for pictures it's fine for titling, but for regular titles, you know, who usually puts the keyword at the very beginning? They do like you to put the keyword at the, like, in the first sentence of your post. Like, don't fool around, you know, put the keywords up front. But again, that always doesn't work with your writing, you know. Nobody wants to just talk like Yoda. Right?
Yeah.
Keywords I like much, you know. I mean, really, who talks like that?
Yoda. This is Yoda's blog, it is.
Exactly. Yoda's blog, it is. Okay, so now that brings us to the featured image. Now, the featured image, there's three basic components of a blog post. There's your title, there's your featured image, and your description. And those three things move around the site and on social media. So when you see a picture in a social media, you know, with on a post about a post, the picture you're seeing is the featured image, and it's not. I mean, this image itself is just on the page, and it's not going to really follow around the site. For instance, let's go to the our front page here. And like when you have like an archive page of old posts, okay, so this is a featured image, this is the title, and this is the description that is in our SEO program. We'll get to that. If you don't do a description, what you would see here is the first paragraph of your post. Okay? So that's the default, is like, and then there might be ellipses at the end that tell you it goes on. So this is the basic format of blogging in general. You see it everywhere. I mean, there's ways to dress it up, but so basically you should add your feature image. Again, two ways to do that. There's a little connection right here. So you can go featured, it just says featured image. Go to your media library, you choose one. Let's choose this sunset. And then it'll pop up down there. It shows you what your featured image is. You can also do it the add media way by hitting featured image right here and then clicking on the one. No. So again, two ways of doing things. Yeah, they're basically like the book cover of your post. So very important. Okay, so we'll move along. Excerpts. Well, excerpts are like the description. You know, I take that back. What you see here is the excerpt on this page. And that is within WordPress. Here's your SEO program. But below that, it says excerpt down here. That is what's going to follow your post around on the site. The description is what follows it into social media. Okay, so sorry about that. Now, what the excerpt can be is up to you. Keyworded again is always helpful. Let's say I'm going to grab a line from the second paragraph of my post, and I'm going to put it down there. Boom. So that's my excerpt, and so that would be right here when it appears on the front page. Okay? Then, well, you won't see that. You wouldn't see it till after it gets published. So you don't see the feature image appearing on this. Some themes have the featured image on the post itself. Some don't. Ours does not. So you only see it when it publishes and it's on the front page, and then that's when you see it. And the excerpt as well. Okay, so moving on, we did the headings. Okay, category. That's easy for me because, I don't know, what is actually, usually I only use the buzz. Meetup. That's what this is, Meetup. Not news.
So did you make these? You made these categories.
Yeah. Okay, to add new categories, thank you, Rennie. You can just add a new one. I don't know, Vancouver.
Beers.
No, I went Vancouver. And then you go add new category. Now, and you can also do parent and child categories, which are just that. There's the parent category and then the child beneath it. I don't want to get too much into that, but again, two ways of doing everything. You can also, if you try to leave and you haven't saved it recently and it knows you did something without saving, it will warn you. Do you want to leave the site? So you go, oops, I want to stay and I'm going to update before I leave. So it'll catch you if you try to, so you don't lose anything. Now, if you wanted to be really, like if you have your own site, if you wanted to be really organized about your categories and tags, there's special places to set them up. And it shows you all the different categories. It shows you the descriptions, and it shows you the number that use that category, so that if you click on that number, you get a list of all of the posts that use the category. Right?
What happens
So that's
if
pretty cool.
More than one blog.
Pardon me?
And will all the images still stay in one place, or each sign-in will have its own pictures, its own, like you?
No. It's for a site like this, like ours. Yeah, anyone can access anybody's pictures.
Say my travel site.
Uh-huh.
I have this, and then I have a blog on my travel site.
Uh-huh.
And I might have another blog for.
Oh, you got to upload the pictures
All of it.
to, yeah.
So nothing. So there isn't a universal sign-in to anything that you've done. They're all a la carte.
Yeah, it keeps things kind of more ruly that way. Okay, so I navigated away from my post, but it's still here. It says scheduled. So I'll just go back and I'll edit it. Okay, so categories and tags. So so the categories appear here, and then you can also go to the most used ones in case you need help. With Yeah. So with tags all, because you can have so many more tags than categories, they give you a nice little tag cloud. So you don't have to be tippy-typing everything. And if you keep each tag the same, there's only one place it's going to go. So it behooves you to just use the same tags over and over. You don't want to, have the Anvil Center with a TRE as well as the ER, because it's too mixed up. You want to go for uniformity with your tags.
What if you're writing an article? One is for an American audience, and one is for a Canadian.
Well, you tag accordingly. You're going to tag whatever's in your post. It doesn't matter where it's going to go.
So this tag is only staying here. This tag is for external. It's for internal.
Yeah, the tags are internal. Tags do have SEO value, but mostly it's like when people are on the site, and let's say they go to one of these articles. Let's see, tags. Oh, here. So at the bottom, these are all of our tags. So we could, click on Best Way and see all of the stories that Best Way has appeared in. Okay? So it's mostly for the user, their navigational abilities, but it does have some SEO. So anyway, so here's our tag cloud. So you could just go, I'll take this one, I want that one, I want that one, and see they're all appearing up here. Instead of having to type them out, and add it, you could just use the old ones and keep it really uniform. And then add new ones, so for this particular post, which is not travel-y at all, I would say, I would add like words like links, images, things like that are about what's in the story, that are mentioned in the story.
If you start to type it in, will it complete it if there's already a tag in?
Yes, thank you. It will auto-complete. Let's see, here's Darlene Foster. So it will auto-complete for you if you start typing. Thank you. So that's that. Yes, if it's already in your tag cloud, it will auto-complete. So that makes your job easier, basically. Just click, click, click. Okay, featured image, add excerpt, headings, category, tags. Okay, optimizing for SEO. Now we use Yoast, which is almost the standard of the industry for SEO, and that's down here. Now what this does is it helps you control, when you click edit snippet here, and actually, boy, you see these mobile icons more and more. But we'll just go for the desktop version. The title, that short code will bring in your title, the title you already have. Now, you could change that. You could make it, come on. You can copy it. And let's say this post is about the BCTW Meetup, colon or pipe or something. And it gives you that much, it shows you how much space you can use up. And Google likes it when you fill the space. When you make it wordy, it increases your opportunity to add keywords. So let's say it should be kind of readable, but yeah. So we're at tap and barrel. Oh, I don't know. I might not. Oh, cut me off. Okay. So basically, what you're seeing up here is how it appears in the search engine result page. So here's your slug again. The description, again, can be really anything. You can grab a chunk. Sorry about that. A chunk. What am I doing?
Straight finger. Search engine optimization. Search engine optimization.
No, hang on. Sorry. Come on. Sorry about that. Okay, so you could copy and paste in. Oh, I lost my title. Okay, so it shows you. I think they're allowing more characters now. See, this is much longer than it used to be. It's like Twitter allows more characters.
They doubled it, yeah.
I think, yeah. See, look at this. It used to be it would cut you off right about here. Anyway, so it cut me off at case. And you can edit inside there to kind of fix it up, however you want it. Or end it where it should end, maybe. But again, add the keywords in the description. The keywords need to go in your title, your permalink, your description, and numerous times in the content itself. So and then, okay, so it gives you space for the keyword, and I'm just going to say WordPress.
Is it just one keyword?
If it's a keyword phrase, I mean, there is a school of thought that says a long tail keyword is better, but then it's kind of hard to write for it and make it appear in all these places in that same way. So I'm just going to stick with a single keyword. You can use phrases. It will tell you not to use little words like of and things like that. But then if you're talking about tap and barrel, that's part of their title. So anyway, this could be cornerstone content from which other things spring.
What is cornerstone content?
It's like a basic thing, and you're going to add more things on top of it. So it knows that this is the first instance you're using it for. Okay, so what this program does, it tells you where you need improvement on your SEO optimizing. Like the focus keyword is not in the first paragraph. You know, sometimes it lies. You lie. It's wrong sometimes. And then the keyword density, let me just save it. Maybe it'll spring to its feet.
Come with census.
Did you can always, if you doubt how many times you've used your keyword, let me just finish it. Well, actually, you can go find. I'm going to go find WordPress. And look, it says 20 instances, right? So anyway, oh, okay, see, it did change. I haven't used the focus keyword in my subheading. I'm linking to another page with the same focus keyword as I'm using, so that's a problem. SEO title is too short, again, because I lost what I just added to this. So those are the big problems. Improvements, say the SEO title, put focus keyword. But all these, look at all the good things I did. I got in the right place. I mentioned the keyword 7 times. The description contained it. The description's long enough. The images all contain WordPress, okay? The text is nice and long, and I have outbound, well, okay, 4 outbound and 2 internal links. And I've never used this focus keyword before. Woohoo! After a while, it tells you, God, you've used this keyword so many times, don't you? And you just kind of, I don't know, this is a guide. It helps you, but you know you kind of have to sometimes go your own way.
About it says recommended minimum 900 words. That's pretty big these days, isn't it? Like I mean, a lot of travel articles and newspapers are only 750 words.
This is more or equal to the recommended minimum. It used to be 300. These things change. Long form posts are more in vogue these days. Yeah, it's changed.
It's changing.
Yeah, like 2,000, 3,000. People love that apparently.
Wow, because everything I've been reading says short, short, short.
Not anymore.
Friggin' essay.
And it depends.
Yeah.
It depends. But they say that long form posts are more shareable, and they keep people on your site longer, so that's always good.
It's just that you read so much about attention spans on the web.
But that's why you have the headings.
Yeah.
The headings help people go through all that information. And you never want to also in your formatting of your paragraphs, you never want to have long paragraphs. You want to have maybe 2 sentences and then a new paragraph. Break it up. Otherwise, it's just unreadable. I know. I'm like, I can't, chew on this. And you got to spread it out, Okay, so what else? Now, have we come to okay. Oh, I know. The other thing is, in Yoast, you can do other things. So that's the basic analysis of your page. But in here, you can add You know, this changes. Sometimes they have Twitter included, sometimes Google Plus. Okay, now they only have Facebook. So you can, if you're going to post this post on Facebook, you can enter specific Facebook title that for my post. And that's what the title will be instead of the SEO title that we previously had.
Now, why would you want to do that?
You know, if you want to.
Yeah, but
If you are segmenting your readership and you want to tell them a bit of information that the other people don't get, or if you want to upload a different image and you want them to see a different image than the one that's your featured image. Now, if you wanted to, otherwise, you know, it's just going to be what it is without that. There's other, for the techies, this is for techies, okay? It's there, but you don't need to know about it. So that's Yoast, in case you all were wondering what Yoast is. To where? Yeah. Again, put in a good long title. What? What are you looking for? Okay, revisions, yes. Okay. The beauty of WordPress is it saves stuff that you don't. Like if you're, I don't know, if you get logged out when you didn't save something, or your computer craps out on you and just, well, it's gone, and you forgot to, like you did all this work and you didn't hit this update button, it saves it for you. It won't save categories and tags and the stuff in the sidebar or the Yoast. It won't save that. But for on the in your content itself, it'll save it. I'll show you what it looks like. We can. Oh, here it is. Yeah, there's two places. You saw it below. It's also up here. So you can browse them, and it'll show you each saving of the page. Here we go. So, and it'll show you where you change things. See? So this was a previous version, and this was a newer version. See, I was mucking around with these links. So it'll tell you the changes that you made over time. So that'll help you go back in time and find the right version that you're looking for. So if you made a total mess of your page and it would take you longer to step-by-step undo everything, just go back in the revisions and find the last version that you liked, and then you hit restore this autosave. And sometimes, like if your computer craps out and you log back in, it will show you at the top of your page. Or no, next. Sorry, what was I doing? It will show you at the top of the page. It'll say there is an autosave that's newer than the version you have. Okay, so watch for that. That would be up here somewhere. It'll say autosave. So you're like, oh, I forgot I made that change, and you're like, woo, thank you, WordPress. You know, so it saves you a little time. Okay, and I think that's it. I think that's all you need to know. Here, right here, this is the Yoast score. This is the score they're giving us. The readability is okay, but the SEO is good. So if you like being scored, it's kind of fun. You don't have to go for the green dot all the time, because sometimes it just doesn't jibe with your style. So you know, you just got to just do the best you can.
What's
up
below,
here,
what's below okay? What's the rating?
Bad. Crap. Up here is your typical formatting tools. Sometimes you might see the page looking like this, and you want to see more formatting tools. Hit Toolbar Toggle, and that gets you these tools down here. You know, your horizontal line, your text color, pasting the thing. Indent, it will indent. There's short codes, all that stuff. You can make a quote. You can do your bullet points. Pull quotes. Here's your linky tool. Insert, read more. And people don't really use that anymore. The font is in the site itself. So you would have to have an administrator's permission. It's all set up. Yeah, if it's your site, you could do that. But if you're working on somebody else's site, you can't do that. And again, you can't use your heading tags for formatting. It's tempting because you're like, oh, I like that size. You know, don't do it.
What are the most